And so I'd like to recognize a nominating speech and call Ms. Anna Maloney to the podium. Anna?
We need a congressperson to fight for our values in Washington. I deeply believe that Chris Donovan is the person for that job. Washington. When you talk to Chris about equality, you can tell immediately that it is not just a political posture. To him, equality is a moral imperative.
Yes.
As a young woman, I am painfully aware of labor inequality and healthcare issues that face us. The Republicans are declaring a war against women. Are reprehensible attempts to make our bodies the subject of political power. For Chris, women are not subjects to control. We are equal partners in the future of our nation. Highlighting preventive medicine, such as mammograms and well-child visits, as well as health care for all Americans. Most commonly, underinsured and uninsured young adults. But health care needs defenders. Chris has publicly supported the act, and additionally, as Speaker, he developed legislation to support our small businesses to ensure that our families get the care they need and our businesses keep good jobs in our community. The Republican recession and their misguided war debts have even put Social Security under scrutiny. For Chris, cutting Social Security is just not an option. Too many have avoided the fight. His record has proven that we can trust Chris to take on the tough fights and to be true to our seniors. We need you, Chris. So I'm delighted to nominate Chris Donovan to be our candidate and the next congressman for the 5th Congressional District.
Purposes of the second speech, I recognize Mr. Tom Joyner. Tom?
My name is Tom Joyner from Sherman. I'm proud to second the nomination of Chris Donovan because I know he will continue to lead the fight for equality at the national level, as he has done here in Connecticut. In the aftermath of what happened last week in North Carolina, we need more champions in Washington, D.C., fighting for our rights and to repeal DOMA. As the leader in the General Assembly, Chris first delivered civil unions and then full equality, making Connecticut one of the first states in the nation to grant me the right to marry the man I love. We must stand with him and fight to ensure that all Americans enjoy the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I proudly second the nomination of Chris Donovan.
For purposes of another second speech, I'll recognize Ms. Kathy Batista. Kathy?
Hi, I'm Kathy Batista, City Councilor from Meriden. I work every day for a group that doesn't have the backing of big corporations and their lobbyists. A group that is often unheard in matters that impact them in profound ways. Our children. We have struggled to have our voices heard as budget cuts were threatened year after year. We did not struggle alone. There are a few individuals that may cross your path during your lifetime that you might refer to as a champion. Chris Donovan is one of them. You need to. He gets it. He understands and values early childhood initiatives. He always did. It was he who ultimately led the way and spoke on behalf of our children. Chris Donovan is Speaker of the House, but I like to refer to him as Speaker of the Children. Thank you, Champion Donovan. I wholeheartedly and with honor and pride nominate the champion for our children, Chris Donovan. Second.
For purposes of another second speech, we will recognize Mr. Emmanuel Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez.
Hello all and good evening. My name is Manny, City Councilman of Britain. I am proud to support the nomination of a man who has been a champion of our city and great state for so many years. As Speaker of the House, Chris Donovan has taken on many challenges that face our urban communities. He fought to invest billions of dollars in small businesses and manufacturing jobs within our state. He delivered financial assistance to help grow and expand businesses, and he has provided resources to take brownfields and make them productive again. Chris Donovan has led the effort to close the achievement gap by investing in early childhood education and putting the focus on early childhood reading to successfully involve our communities that are underperforming throughout the state. We in Connecticut have one of the largest achievement gaps in the country. Chris's focus, energy, and dedication to education reforms give me hope that this issue will no longer continue and be swept under the rug. Chris's work on this has had a personal effect on me, as this issue is close to my heart and my community. It is clear that Chris takes the time to understand the perspectives of all cultures and demands that all people are given the fairness, dignity, and respect that they deserve. I am honored and proud to second the nomination of Chris Donovan, our next congressman of the 5th District of the state of Connecticut.
This seconding speech will be made by Charlotte Koskoff. Charlotte, please stand.
My name is Charlotte Koskoff, and as Howard Dean would say, I'm from the Democratic wing of the Democratic Party. I'm proud to support Chris Donovan for Congress because he has walked the walk on all the issues that matter to us. This district has sent a progressive Democrat to Congress for the past 6 years, and we owe it to the district and to the country to continue that tradition. We need another progressive champion to stand up to the far-right wingers in Congress, and to their backers, and to their funders, and to the people on Fox News, and to right-wing talk radio. We have a responsibility to send not just a Democrat, but a bold, unapologetic, progressive Democrat who will stand up and fight for our values. Chris Donovan is that person. He has a record of standing up to power when it has been exercised in favor of the 1% over the 99%. Yes.
Yeah.
When the Republican governor tried to balance her budget with devastating cuts to schools, libraries, senior centers, and shelters, Chris organized Connecticut families to stand united at schools and libraries in New Britain and Waterbury, at a senior center in Meriden, and daycare centers and shelters. And the governor backed down and agreed not to balance the budget on the backs of working families.
Yeah.
In Congress, Chris will do no less. He can absolutely be counted upon to advocate and fight effectively for people who need to work for a living and need good jobs, for people who rely on retirement benefits and need Social Security and Medicare to be publicly funded, and for young people who need real and realistic opportunity. Speaker Chris Donovan has demonstrated throughout his career the capacity to legislate, to negotiate, and to take progressive values and make them law. Like another of Connecticut's former legislative leaders, Congressman John Larson, Chris will bring his legislative skills to Congress and hit the ground running. Chris Donovan is the right choice for the families and communities of this district. I am honored to second the nomination.
Speech for this candidate, I'd like to recognize the Honorable Larry Butler, State Representative from the 72nd District.
Good evening. My name is Representative Larry Butler from right here in Waterbury. I'm so honored to second the nomination of Chris Donovan to be the next congressman in the 5th District. I believe we should send Chris to Washington to represent us for many reasons. But the most important reason is he's the best person for the job.
That's right.
Chris has demonstrated as a state representative that he cares for those that he was sent to offer to represent. As the majority leader and the Speaker of the House, he has supported many issues. He has supported and passed legislation to address health care, domestic violence, veterans, seniors, and perhaps most of all in this economy, creating jobs.
Yes.
Over the past 2 years, we have seen a deadlock in Congress where much of nothing is done. Chris dealt with that in Hartford, and he has demonstrated the capacity to work with people from both sides of the aisle and get things he's done. This is evident in what Chris accomplished with a Republican governor, and most recently in breaking the deadlock in education reform. We need Chris to be sent to Washington to get things moving. Chris Donovan has been a great friend to me, a great friend to Waterbury, and once he's elected to Congress, our 5th district will also have a great friend in Washington named Congressman Chris Donovan. Now, I know Chris is in the building, so I want him to hear from all of you in a revised version. We want Chris!